All right, we're going to do our lesson on decimals today. We just did a little lesson on that yesterday. Make sure you have a pencil and a paper ready to go. All right, your title, which should go at the top of your paper, page 231, comma, page 232. And today's date is April 23rd. Pause the video until you're ready. All right, number one. Here we have a picture. It says Tian has rings on all of her fingers. So hopefully you can see the colors because you're going to need to know the colors for the question that's coming up. So we've got green, let's see here, green, red, blue. Goodness, I can't even see that one. I think that's purple for a P. Green, blue, red, green, and white. So hopefully that will be good enough. Okay, I'm going to mark that one purple. Whether it is or not, it's purple now. Okay, number one, 2/10, or to write it like this in numbers, 2/10, or 0.2 of Tian's rings are blue. Show more ways to describe Tian's rings with fractions and decimals. All right, so we're going to do that for every color that we have. So they have already done blue, so let's just write that out, blue. We have got 3 ways to write that, but we're not going to write it in words right now. We're just going to write it using the fraction and the decimal. So blue rings, 2/10 or 0.2. Okay. Let's go on to green. Okay, write the fraction and the decimal and pause that until you're done. All right, green. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4/10 are green and the decimal for that is 0.4. All right, the next color is red. Write the decimal, the fraction and the decimal. Pause the video until you're ready. Okay, we have 2 red. So 2 out of 10 are red, and the decimal for that is 0.2. And we're going to do purple. Okay, pause the video until you have those things written out. We've got 1 purple, so 1/10 is purple, and 0.1 is the way to write that. And let's see, what else are we missing here? Green, red, blue, purple. I think the only one is white. And write out your fraction and your decimal. Pause the video. And we only have one that is white. 1 out of 10, 1/10, and 0.1. Now, if we did this right, all of these numbers should add up to 10 because there are 10 rings altogether. So we have got 2 plus 4 is 6, plus 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9, plus 1 is 10. Okay, so we did that properly. All right, number 2. Number 2 says, write each as a fraction and as a decimal. So they have written it for you in words. We are going to write as a fraction and a decimal. So 3/10 as, oh, what did we forget to do? We forgot to do A, there we go. 3/10 as a fraction, and as a decimal, 0.3. So I want you to do B, C, and D, and pause the video until you have those done, and then you can check your answers with me. All right, B, 10/10. So that's pretty easy to write that as a fraction. But how do we write that as a decimal? Is it like this? No, it isn't. So let's just think about this for a sec. If we have something that's divided into 10 sections, we've got a chocolate bar divided into 10 sections, and we have all 10 sections of the chocolate bar there. None are eaten. What do we have? We have 1 entire chocolate bar. So anytime you have all the sections there, you have one complete unit, whether that's a chocolate bar, or a pizza, or a cookie, or whatever. So we can write it this way. Now there's another way to write it. You could write 1.0. That means the same as just writing 1. So all these things are equal to each other. Okay? So always remember that when you have all the parts there, that is equal to 1. Okay, C, 1/10. 1 over 10, and the decimal is 0.1. And the last one, 0/10. 0 over 10, and the way that we would write this is 0.0. Okay, so we have 0 whole parts or whole units, and we also have 0 parts. There's no, oh, that looks like owl eyes. Okay, so we have none of it. All right, let's take a look at number 3. Okay, now it says to use counters on the grid. So we're going to draw our grid for A, and our grid is going to have 10 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. We'll make 5 sections on top and on the bottom. And they want you to use counters to show 0.3. Okay, so pause the video. Now, oh, sorry. A counter can just be a circle. Okay, a colored circle. So pause the video until you have that finished. So 0.3 means 3/10. So if we were to have 3 of the tenths covered with counters, it would look like that. Okay, we're going to try B. B is same, but this time it's a different decimal. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this time it is 0.7. Pause the video until you have your counters drawn in. Okay, and this one should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. All right, number 4. What comes next in this counting pattern? How do you know? Ooh, that means explain your answer. Okay, on your paper, put number 4. Now, let's take a look at the pattern. We've got 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8. So let's look at the number that's changing. 2, 4, 6, 8. We are counting by 2s. So if we were to continue this pattern, what would come next? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So let's draw the thing that comes next in this pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I am going to color it in 10. Now we just talked about this on the other page. How do we write that? We have 10 sections, all 10 are there. We have a complete unit or a complete whole. And the way to write that is 1. Okay? And we're going to, because we're dealing with parts, we're going to make it even more specific and say we don't have any leftover little parts. The answer is 1.0, which means the same as 1. How do you know? So now we have to explain this. So how do we know that 1 comes after 0.8? Because all of these were 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, and now we have 1. Okay, so we're going to write this answer here. We know because, make sure you have a capital W on we. We know because we added 2 more sections and it became a whole item which equals 1. Okay, so pause the video until you have all of that copied down. Make sure you have a capital and a period. All right, number 5. Okay, let's take a look at number 5. Which colors and pictures show 0.3? Well, what does 0.3 mean? It means 3/10. Okay, so not only do you have to be able to say 3 of something, but we also have to be able to see 10 of something. So be careful, you're going to get tricked up here. Okay, I'm going to do the first 2 with you, and then you're going to do B and C, or you're going to do 2 of them on your own. Okay, so let's do A. Here we go. A, do we have 3 of something? Yes, we do. We've got 3 yellow squares. Do we have 10 of something? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, we have 10 squares all together. So A, the yellow, shows 0.3. I agree. Okay. Now, B, you're going to do on your own. Okay. I'm just going to make a little bit of room for myself over here. Okay. B, you're going to do on your own. Okay, that's yours. Check if there's 3 of something. Check if there's 10 of something. Okay, and then what color shows 0.3? All right, C, we are going to do together. Okay, so pause your video until you're done B. All right, for C, let's check it out. Do we have 3 of something? 1, 2, 3. Yes, we have 3 blue. What's the problem? Well, we have to check if we have 10 of something. So do we have 10? Do we have 10 circles? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can this equal 0.3? Absolutely not, because 0.3 means 3 out of 10. So if there are not 10 items altogether, that cannot be a decimal. Okay, so for C, we are just going to put an X. C is a big no-no. Okay, and D, I want you to try on your own. D is the trickiest one. Okay, all right. And I think that's all we have for today.